In a case that shocked and disgusted Ireland, a Slovak national, Jozef Puska, brutally killed a young Irish teacher, Ashling Murphy, who was convicted and sent to prison for this heinous crime. Well, his family are now in court accused of aiding and abetting him in the grotesque act that he carried out. I'm going to show you, for those that don't know, this is the rat vermin Puska on the left. This is Ashling on the right. She was brutally murdered as she was jogging. She was stabbed multiple times and left to die at the side of a canal. And at the time, let's just say the reporting on this was inaccurate. And when Ashling's boyfriend spoke out and asked questions about how someone like Puska could be allowed to come to Ireland and remain there, wasn't working for years, didn't speak English, even this retrial or this trial of his family. Sorry, not a retrial, the trial of his family, accused of aiding and abetting. They need two interpreters for that as well. When he was questioning things like this, having just been robbed of his girlfriend, had a future together, he was branded intolerant and shouldn't be, xenophobic, and almost dismissing his disbelief and his shock at the loss of his partner. The details as we know it: Jozef Puska, family members accused of withholding information and burning his clothes after Ashling Murphy murder. There they are, all wearing sunglasses, at least three of them are. From the left, Lubomir Puska, age 35, Viera Gaziova, age 38, Jozefina Grundzova, age 31, and Marek Puska, age 34. His two brothers and their two wives. Accused of withholding information or assisting Puska after he murdered 23-year-old school teacher Ashling Murphy in Tullamore 3 years ago. He was tried and convicted of her murder. Ms. Justice Biggs said this trial relates to the alleged actions of Puska's family members in the immediate aftermath of that murder. They all have addresses in Mucklagh, Tullamore, County Offaly. Residents of County Offaly. The whole squad. Lubomir Puska is charged with withholding information by failing without reasonable excuse to tell a member of An Garda Síochána as soon as was practical that Jozef Puska returned home to Mucklagh on the night of January the 12th, 2022, with visible injuries, and admitted to cutting a female with a knife. It's further alleged he failed to disclose that Jozef Puska travelled to Dublin that night. Marek Puska is also charged with withholding information about his visible injuries, that he had admitted to, quote, killing or seriously injuring a female with a knife, and he travelled to Dublin that night. He's made aware of an arrangement to burn clothing worn by Puska at the time of the murder. What a squad. Allegedly, of course. No, allegedly. Allegedly. charges against both brothers state they knew or believed the information they allegedly withheld might be of material assistance in securing the apprehension, prosecution, or conviction of Jozef Puska. Even his name's repugnant. Jozef Puska. Puska. Pus. Both men have pleaded not guilty. Jozefina Grundzova, who's married to Marek Puska, and Viera Gaziova, who's married to Lubomir Puska. Different surnames. Maybe they're progressives. They don't do old-fashioned things like changing their name to the same as their husband. Maybe they're progressives. I don't know what they are. Accused of assisting in burning clothing. Does it take 4 of them to burn clothing? Allegedly. Anyway, they're all up for this. So the jury's been sworn in. Trial expected to take 4 or 5 weeks. Two interpreters present. Because, they don't speak English well enough to understand these charges, or do they? I don't know. If you're listening to this, you're in Ireland, you're paying for this. You're paying for their legal representation. You're paying for the interpreters. You're paying for this court time. You're paying to keep Jozef Puska locked up. You paid to keep him on benefits while he claimed he had a slip disc in his back and he couldn't work. You paid for his appeals. Because, he appealed his conviction, you know that. This is last April, a year ago. Puska was granted legal aid to appeal his conviction for murdering school teacher Ashling Murphy. They're trying to suggest that the conviction was unsafe. Legal aid? What did he get? What did he get? What are you paying for? Same representation he got before: a solicitor, senior counsel, and 2 junior counsel. Solicitor, senior counsel, 2 junior counsel, 4-man legal team, paid by you. During the trial, the jury, this is the original murder trial, Puska told detectives he stopped working in 2017 after slipping a disc in his back. What, maybe he was doing something else that he slipped the disc, something vigorous. I don't know. Prior to the jury being sworn in to hear Puska's trial in 2023, his lawyers made a number of objections to the evidence. Defence argued the jury should not hear Puska's confession to Gardaí 2 days after. Why? Because he was suffering the effects of abdominal surgery paid for by you, and was under the influence of the painkiller oxycodone, and his confession was involuntary, paid for by you. They also objected to prosecution showing CCTV of him stalking 2 other women in Tullamore town centre earlier that day. Those women, I don't know if they even know who they are, but it could have been them. Could have been them. Before he headed to the canal where he murdered Ashling Murphy. That's the basis of his appeal. Doesn't want this to be admitted. Shouldn't have been admitted into evidence. He stabbed Ms. Murphy 11 times in the neck, slashed her with the edge of a blade before leaving her to die in the thick thorns and brambles by the side of the canal towpath between Tullamore town and Digby Bridge. What a contrast. What a contrast. People talk about a crime that shook Ireland and what's it going to take for people to just say enough's enough. Should this not have been it? Should this not have been it? Or is it going to take something even more vile to happen before people come to their senses? Anyway, it's a somber one, but needs to be said. So if you enjoy this content, which let's face it, it's not very enjoyable, is it? If you appreciate it or you find it of any benefit, share it, cut and paste it, dump the links in other people's WhatsApp messages, Facebook groups. Most of it's not very palatable, if the truth be told, but it needs to be said. People need to know what's going on under their noses. So for now, I'm Rick Munn, No Risk, No Reward Media, over and out.